Join us as we find an awesome campsite near Ouray, Colorado.
We're Josh, Kate, and Coco, and this is our Scout Truck Camper. If you're new here, thanks for watching. This is the 13th episode of our 2-month National Park road trip that we did in summer of 2024. In our last episode, we camped at an alpine lake outside of Telluride, Colorado, then spent some time in Ouray and went to Orvis Hot Springs. We're now off to find a camp spot for the night. This is a spot we found on iOverlander, and it's near the Dexter Creek. I think it's a national forest, but I'm not sure the name of it. There was 2 sites on the left back there. They were right on the creek, but they were taken.
There's multiple more sites here, but it looks like they're all taken. 1, 2, and 3.
We made it to the end. All the campsites are full. There's a decent amount of cars behind us, and there's this little water crossing right up here. Not suitable for passenger cars. I think the Dexter Creek trailhead is right there, and I can see a tent right over this way. You can see we're parked right next to a van. I think this Jeep is going to cross the creek, but I'm not sure if we're going to. If we had our 4Runner still, I think I would cross, or if we had a lift kit on the Tundra, I would. I just threw a rock in there, and it seems like it's probably like 6 or 8 inches deep in the middle, and I don't know how, and it looks like there's some big rocks in here, which is why I don't want to cross, but I think there's not too much water, but it's moving pretty good, but I'm more worried about like the big rocks that are in there. Coco's enjoying drinking from the stream. I bet it's nice and refreshing. We decided we're actually just going to camp here. There's still a lot more room than it looks, but we just pulled off to the side. We would go back down there with those cars, but any place other than where they're parked is a pretty big slant going down the hill. We're just walking down the road for something to do, and they're having a nice fire with a view here. Since we've been here, 3 more cars have driven up and turned around, but it looks like this van might be continuing on. I just walked down and talked to the guy in the Volkswagen van that was in front of us on the left, and they're from Quebec, and they actually go to Lake Placid a lot, which is funny since that's where we're from. And he told me that this camper up here is actually abandoned. He went up and looked at it, and it looks like it's been there for a while. So another group just pulled up, and they actually parked near it, and that's where they're going to be camping tonight. Kate's in bed reading. Coco's hanging out on the couch with her little Chewy. I'm having a very late dinner with little pita with some hard-boiled eggs and some other stuff on it. I think that's about it for today. More people just showed up, and it's a pretty nice spot, and we should have good Starlink from here. So I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. We've been up for a little bit now, and everyone else that was parked up in this area has already left. Okay, same with the people that stayed at that campsite, but I think Coco and I are gonna go check out that abandoned camper. One van came back across the stream this way this morning, and then another car drove in. The car that drove in was probably like a small crossover with less ground clearance than us, so we probably could have done it. I just didn't really feel like dealing with it last night. Kind of worked out that we didn't go across the creek last night too, because Kate is currently working from Starlink. We have it on top of the camper, and from what I can see and from what I've read online, if we got to any of the campsites down here, they probably would have been more secluded, but they would have been like shaded in with trees, and we probably wouldn't have been able to use Starlink. Is this one big enough for you, Coco? Coco, how many good smells do you think are going to be around this camper? There's some pieces of metal, looks like an old metal roof. Half of these turnouts have like old little mining shacks on them or falling apart on them. Yeah, this definitely looks abandoned. No one's using this. I think this is like a side window, just garbage. This looks like a commercial coffee machine and just regular household garbage. This probably wasn't even usable. They probably just dragged it up here full of their garbage and left it here. Although that does look like it's the stove from it. Cassette toilet, that's nice. It's just filled with junk. There is an awesome view from this site, and it's very level right here. You can see down into this little valley. It really is too bad when people do stuff like this. That's how areas like this forest road get closed down for camping. Here's our late breakfast. It's really almost lunchtime. Kate's been on a meeting for the last few hours. That's why I haven't really been talking. It's about 12:30 now. I've just been hanging out and cleaning things. Another car just drove up and turned around. And I think it's time for me to walk over here and explore a little bit. Well, I made it across and it's crazy cold. First, I'm gonna check out this tent over here and see if anyone's in it or what. I wonder if there's any mountain lions or bobcats in these trees up here watching me. I brought my bear spray just in case. The road is definitely a little steeper and narrower than before, but it's not too hard. But I think our camper definitely would have touched some of these branches. I feel like I've been walking for like 10 minutes and now there's a gate with a private property sign here. And there's an entrance right here. It looks like it could go to a campsite, but I'm not sure. Once I get back, I think Kate will probably have to work for another 30 minutes to an hour. And then we're gonna be heading towards Silverton and checking that out before finding a camp spot outside of that town. So I'll see you once we're closer to Silverton. We're about to leave and these two ladies just came through and crossed the creek on horseback. And now Coco and I are hanging out over here so she doesn't freak out at the horses. And there they go to check out that other campsite.
We just drove through the town of Ouray again, and we're on the $1 Million Highway, and today we're going to be camping probably a little bit south of Silverton, but we're definitely going to be seeing the town of Silverton and just enjoying this drive. It's interesting how there's no railing or guardrail on the side of this road. It's very steep down on the edge as well. There are some pullouts, but when there aren't, the road is just very narrow.
So here we are, we're heading right into Silverton. We just saw a sign saying that the elevation here is 9,300 feet. This shouldn't be as built up of a town in comparison to Telluride and Ouray, but I heard it's still pretty good. I think right up here I'm gonna look for a parking spot and we're gonna walk around. I feel like it looks like there's more of a main street than I was expecting. This is really cool. I feel like it gives like Wild West feel with the old buildings, especially this one. I wanna go to the Shady Lady Saloon. It's right over there. Right now we're at the end of the famous Blair Street, and I think the late 1800s this was a famous spot for gambling and other stuff. It really isn't that big of a jail. We really like this town. I feel like it's very authentic, and we like how it's not that busy too. I think I'm gonna get these. I've been looking for these and they are on sale. We decided we were gonna get barbecue for dinner and this place had really good reviews. I'm excited for brisket. I feel like we haven't had that in a while. That was super quick and it all looks really good.
I like how there's celery in it.
It's really good. In our next video, we'll be heading to the San Juan Mountains and camping over there for a few days. As always, thanks for watching.